Okay, we're back with Outer Worlds. Speaking of worlds, we're going to be leaving this world. So let's see if she
How's
has
work going you
anything to
did,
say.
Captain? Helping to bring the deserters and Edgewater folks back together? I hope you rest well on that.
I hope so too. I don't sleep well.
Is this your ship? Oh
She
my
fucking
god,
just
he is just so
wondering.
handsome! Does she have a name yet? What's her drive mark? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When
Adorableness.
I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship,
That's cute.
working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew.
You belong to me now.
I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling. Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no,
Okay.
but can I come with you?
Okay.
I can
Is one of
fix
your
your
hairs
engine.
coming out of
I
the
know my
side of
G
your
valves and my
cheek?
catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can
It's
do
on
that too.
our left, her
What do you
right.
think?
Looks weird. Okay. Anyway,
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain. I can call you Captain now.
if you
Captain.
insist. Boop.
Well,
Vicar.
I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Okay. I mean, as long as you're cool with that, then we're all cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool. I think this rooms still aren't active, right? Yeah, because I still have to lift the lockdown. I'm gonna hurt myself by jumping, aren't I? Probably would have taken like half the time just to walk down,
Captain,
but
I have detect. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator?
I shove it in.
Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Thank you. Agora acrophobia. After repeatedly falling from great heights, you no longer function. No, I'm not. Well, I mean, how often do I need to be above the ground where. Yeah, I'll take it. Sorry, loud car outside. Trying to read these. Trying to see what I want. I don't know why the car. It's a residential area. Okay, we'll go with that. Sorry, it took me a minute to pick out my perk. Now we're gonna go up here, climb these ladders, and then we're gonna go here, smack that baby in. Hi, Ada.
What can I do for you, Captain?
You know, actually, I'll be right
Goodbye.
back. Let me see. Is there anything I have to talk to Victor about?
By
Vicar, yeah.
verity, by strength. What are we contemplating
By
together?
ass, by cheek. I'm gonna tell him to return to the unreliable. But we're on the fucking unreliable.
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
I mean,
Oh, I eventually learned how to channel it into my quest for knowledge. But my childhood, that is a different tale. I grew up in a pit of a town much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them. On the contrary, they internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
was it because of your personality?
They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me. The plan is not one rigid path. There are a variety of multitudes contained within it. Our paths have variance, but we'll end up adhering to it, whether we like it or not. Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. You can even go outside the lines, but the further outside you go, it's like an unbreakable elastic band. It will only stretch so far before it snaps back. The further it is stretched, the more violent the eventual correction.
That's my issue with, like, it's not my issue per se, okay? If someone wants to be religious, that's fine. I'm A-okay with that. I'm not even completely atheist, okay? I kind of believe that there could be a higher power. I don't want to offend anyone. I just don't understand how we could ever hope to interpret or understand the reasoning of a higher power. Again, if you want to be religious, that's up to you. If Vicar wants to be religious, I don't give a fuck. I'm saying that I think it's weird that he's like, oh, well, I totally know how the plan works, and the plan works like this and this and this, and it's not as rigid as you think, because it can, like, bounce back and forth, and you always get back on path. It just sounds like he's just filling in the gaps as he's going along to make it the way he wants, and then when he runs into a blank, he gets frustrated. So it seems like he doesn't listen to the path. He doesn't follow the path. He's breaking the path constantly and then saying, oh, no, it's the path still. It's just a more struggling path. It's a more bumpy path instead of the true path or whatever bullshit he's trying to come up with to justify doing whatever the fuck he wants while also preaching about the path. But, like, they do that with the science too, you know. It's like they'll be like, "Oh, well, I think that the science is going to come back with this research study," and they'll do only one research study, and they'll ignore all the evidence that says anything to the contrary to what they already believed in. Sorry, I went on a rant.
Bocconu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately,
Is it that we
he
might
was
be in the
also one of the
Sims video game?
founders of the Philosophist School of Thought, so the book is banned in this colony. The story of my life.
Story
Most
of my
laypeople are
life,
aware of
I
this,
drive so
but we've
home.
not discovered any new
I don't know that
insights
song,
into the
actually.
plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And That's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Bokonu journal.
I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like you might be dumb.
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They
Yes.
believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan.
I
But
mean,
most
can't
of
it
the
be both?
philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
Can't it be? Can't it be such a plan that's so convoluted and so far-reaching that to you and my simple mind, it looks like chaos?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2
If you
some
guys were
years ago.
fucking, I don't
He's
care.
an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony
It
could translate that book, it would be him.
was the prisoner, wasn't it?
You caught me. Listen, the OSI frowns on fraternization with
That sounds like
philosophers.
fucking,
I'd
not
like to
like
keep my
talking.
associations with our scholar friend quiet.
Who the fuck am I gonna tell?
That's a good question. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. A great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems.
Sounds like you have a lot of downtime at work. But, you know, good for you trying to learn new skills. That's good.
I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifests to track the Philosophist's off-world destination.
Yes, yes. It's so
Thank you,
cool.
Captain.
Nice.
Okay, now I'll talk data.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Are those oars on the back?
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Tell him I'm not home. Oh, I mean,
there you are,
I...
hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting these unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any unnatural drippage? Perfectly
No
normal
more than
side
usual.
effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's
And
colonists,
me.
they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right.
Or they can
You
do
need to get to
worse.
Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kilkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving
I
Halcyon
don't like
alive, so
skating.
we may as well make it a better place. And we can start by reviving the hope.
Okay, well, it's not that I don't like skating, I don't know how.
Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys
Murder.
Kilkelly. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design. Cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you. Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention.
But
If
that
they
is my
pay
normal.
attention, they're more
In video
likely
games,
to
at
notice
least.
flaws in the hologram.
What if I just say I'm ugly?
A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath. Science, that's how.
I'm like, yeah, you got me there.
The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act out. They won't focus on you. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a
And
lie.
it will work.
The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Okay, we're gonna go check out the ship real quick. It's the question that we asked about the shroud and its effectiveness. 1 second. Has always like confused me and annoyed me about like movies and stuff because they'll be like, "Oh, how'd you not know it was me?" After they got like replaced or
Make yourself at
possessed,
home, Captain.
and like 99% of the time, that thing has never happened in that uh, universe, in that canon. Or they'll be like, how'd you not know it was my secret twin that we never knew about? Because, bitch, I didn't know that was an option. Why would you go around just assuming that everyone around you has been replaced? That's literally the basis for multiple mental health issues. And you want me to be like, oh, well, I think there's a body snatcher. So that's Parvati's room right here. And that picture was her dead dad. Here's Vickers' room. It doesn't count as stealing to take their stuff that shows up. So we'll have a couple more rooms. We'll be able to activate him at some point. We'll probably be able to ask about
All crew
him. Wait,
members,
downstairs.
please be advised that perishables should not be left on the counter for more than 48 hours, unless you are hoping for an infestation of sprats.
God, I've been having ant issues lately. Last night I was talking to my mom and I was looking over at the carpet and I kept thinking I saw something. But I was like, I'm just high. I was like, remember that one time my mom cleaned a house for a person in Carson City? I looked down at the carpet and it was just fucking moving because there was so many bugs. Anyway, it turns out there was a whole bunch of ants all over my dog's food area. The food
Welcome back,
puzzles
Captain.
that I
How
feed
can
them
I
with.
be of assistance?
So that was fucking awesome.
The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate.
Where are we going? Groundbreaker. Okay, sorry. I think this is where we meet another
Destination reached.
person.
The Groundbreaker.
Can we talk?
Yeah, I'll be right with you, Pravati. Messages for Alex. I'll probably not read those. I'm lazy. Shrink ray. Nothing happens when I look at those. I'm not going to read them. Okay. Okay, so I found out where I read about the SAM unit. We'll have to go find something for it.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer.
Yeah,
wait,
you can go
do you know
flirt.
Tennyson? I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Sexually?
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else? Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all of my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
How is it funny?
He meant funny as in odd. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
Yes, because we all know you learn through osmosis by standing next to your father for so long. Although they put that in media so often, it's so fucking annoying. Where it's like, oh, this person is a genius, their kid is also a genius. Which really plays into the fact that people really don't understand how genetics happens and really think that some people should. It really says that some people think that smart people breed smart babies and all that. You know, they have smart babies all the time. And it kind of shows some eugenics thinking. I'm not saying that they're bad people for saying that. They can be. But every time it's like, oh, this genius is in a show and now their child is a genius and is even smarter, I'm like, okay, whatever. Clearly, you just needed a younger version of the character you already had, so you're just gonna make them and maybe change the gender just to like give it a little freshness, but it's gonna be the same shit. Sorry.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought.
Yeah,
Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow and I've blown another deadline.
I mean, it takes as
Anyhow,
long
I
as
was
it
excited to
takes.
get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
I'm sure that their deadlines were stupid.
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
How heavy did you squeeze him?
About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh. Look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Stay safe out there.
Alright, let's see if the vicar wants anything.
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged.
Is that
What's
like
occupying your thoughts?
is that like masturbation? Okay, nothing. There's nothing I want to talk to you about. It's just philosophical stuff I don't want to deal with right now. Okay, so I pick out who I want when I'm leaving. And I want Parvati. I could have taken him, I guess. But I know I'm about to run into someone. Maybe I should have taken him. I just find him so annoying.
Captain, Captain. I'm in space. I never thought I'd be able to say that.
Same as you. I don't think I'd want to go to space. I mean, when you hear about them being like, "Oh, we can go to Mars," it's like, yeah, it's gonna take 50 fucking years. Even if we got the space flight immediately tomorrow, it's a 50-year flight.
That's not the point. This hack was just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a toss ball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
Yeah, Felix.
With me again, you little backbitty brat. I will toss you out of there.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this.
Sorry, I was just being nosy.
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
Yes. Earlier, it was literally 1 second ago.
Sure was. Got in
So
there
long
for
ago.
setting the board on the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs. The guy insulted my Rizzo's Rangers, all right? You can't just insult my Rangers and expect to get away with it. So, of course, I decked him with a tossball stick. I mean, what am I? Some kind of fair-weather fan? You wouldn't be saying that if you'd been there. Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself.
Till he talked about your
This
sports
Chosen
team.
man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
Okay.
That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation. You know something? I am lucky. I ought to raise a glass of zero-G to my fortune, if I had the bits. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
No.
So your ship's got a dark and violent history? This is just too perfect.
That's what I said.
Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time. Oh, not at all. Just, gonna figure out what to do next. See you around, boss.
So the shroud is so that we can go past this area if we wanted to. We can also, there's a couple of ways to do it.
Customs and inspection.
So,
Right this way.
okay. Hello, Leonard.
Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Well, let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day.
Fuck
According to
you.
the ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantine commode. Can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way.
It's a weird
I shouldn't be
thing.
mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. You take the starch out of them, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if
Which
you're headed that
part
way,
of him
would
is
you
the
mind doing me a
starch?
favor? Wanda Dorset over in sick bay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
I mean, bitches,
Much
man.
appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I'm looking for a Blackwater.
Vince, you'll find her in the ration go. On your
Black
left when you enter the promenade.
market sales
Make sure
person,
you
not
bring an empty
Blackwater.
belly. Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
You're very knowledgeable. Thank you.
Are you pulling my leg? Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the board. Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are. Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself. Yep, Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners.
You don't have to call them
Seems like
sluts
every
like
year the
that.
board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year. Glad to help. Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind
Not
me.
regular folks that deserve to
Chief
live.
Lay might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty
Damn.
and weird. In a good way.
You're talking about her innards like this? The engineer's innards?
If you're thinking to make a career here, don't waste your time. Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family, you know. All right. He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison. They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top and manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them. It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freighters' docking privileges in retaliation, but where'd that lead us? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
Yeah.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. So far, anyway. Sure thing. Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right. You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony. Be seeing you.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time nor loitering. Got a hot one for you. Captain Gunnar McRed. Just 26 hours old.
Damn, a baby, a newborn.
Not the criminal.
Oh,
Allegations include
would have been easier.
several counts of flying under the influence, carrying open alcoholic containers, failure to pay docking fees, resisting arrest, and assaulting not one but 2 officers.
Yep.
Swerving in the air was more like it. Then he crashed hard into the dock and tumbled out of his ship and fled on foot. Spilled Rizzo's Violet Spectrum vodka all over Officer Hartley. An affront of its own, considering none of us are approved for anything higher than green spectrum. Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? Do the legwork. You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head, or his lucky lighter, as proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck and skip speed.
It's because I'm pretty incident.
Hi there. Haven't seen you around before. What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today?
Oh wait, work.
What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today? Chief Tennyson don't generally hire outsiders for station jobs, but you could try asking at Sublight Salvage. They got an office on the far end of the promenade deck. Anything else I can help you with, ma'am?
No, unless you know how to let me have my fans on at the same time as record, so I don't burn. Well, not burn, but get really warm and hate life, like I am now.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed.
Not the unemployment.
The ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hard-working citizens. This is Halcyon News, reminding you that there's no I in news, no we in Halcyon, and no Mercury in Saturn.
Nice. Damn.
Rizzo's
Beautiful.
Purpleberry Bunch, a salt-sour candy shell around a sweet purpleberry flavored center. Rizzo's Purpleberry Punch. You want a punch? You got your punch right here.
I'm gonna go to the little ladies' room. I thought that said restroom. Oh, rest and go. My bad. Okay, I have so many side quests now. Alright, let's go deal with the Sapphic. It said Sapphire. I know it said Sapphire, but it's Sapphic. Get out of my way! 2 women are in love. Soon. They haven't met, but they will be.
Are those XF411s? And an old Yakita 37? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors.
I'm Harley. And this is Parvati. I'm here so she can fuck.
No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting.
I mean, there might be problems, but I won't try and create problems. I'm just not very smart.
Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer is just passing through.
I'm here to help my friend get laid.
Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if, well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Right. In person. Sure thing, Captain. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said sorry. Honest. Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship.
Don't I know what that's like, bitch? Okay, maybe I don't know what that's like, but it's so fucking hot here lately. It's awful. I hate it.
My engineers have managed to keep the heat to livable levels, but all the fixes are temporary. This wound is bound to fester.
You know
Only the
what we
board
need?
has access
You guys
to
need to get
reports,
naked
and I won't let them swindle me
and
into
maybe get
a
under some water together as a buddy system. I'll stay away. Don't worry.
None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that.
The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone on board, will be cooked alive.
Like the frog in boiling water.
Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Hold on. There's something you should know before you go charging off. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs.
This is Halcyon Reed.
Okay. Okay, Lily. Okay, I'm gonna try and get some of the stuff that's all over here done real quick. I'd eat it.
Oh, neat! They got stuff in here I ain't seen in ages.
Sublight for life. The
Oh,
corporation's never
nice.
lifted a finger for you.
I mean, I've eaten hot dogs. I can eat a bratwurst. Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Sublight Salvage and Shipping, a legitimate business for legitimate consumers. You the one flying the Unreliable? Miss Lily has been expecting you. I'll unlock the door.
Hi, Lilia.
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd make
You're
your
very
way to my
pretty.
office. Saves me the work
Why
of
are you wearing a
hunting you
vest
down.
if it's that hot in here?
Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive Operations. I'm guessing you already know about Sublight, otherwise you wouldn't have come.
Yeah, I'm the director of passive aggressive operations.
Charmed. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my contractor. I'd recognize that leaky boat of his anywhere. I didn't ask. I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate ties with a reliable set of wings. But
I don't have wings, but I do have a ship.
Just like in the serials.
if you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours. Interested? I like that initiative, but ease back on the throttle. Gladys at the rescue go might have what you need. If there's anything else, be quick about it. Time is bits. Be seeing you. Make sure you aren't followed on your way out.
It's a very small area. How would I... That makes no sense. Oh, don't... Make sure you're not followed on the way out into what's basically a shopping mall.
I'm not going anywhere, you hear?
Which one... Who keeps saying that? I don't know.
This is Halcyon Reed.
Oh yeah, she's in here, right?
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's
I didn't
door.
knock.
You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how
I'm
good
not
my
a
sugar
big...
cookies are?
I'm not a big sugar
Made without a
cookie fan,
single
but I
natural
like,
ingredient or an oven.
just like store-bought.
Nice. That's actually pretty. There's some cookies you can make that are not baking. Non-baked cookies, they're nice. I don't like sugar cookies, so.
Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in.
Are we talking about, like, me and my lack of penis?
Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar.
I don't know, ma'am. She seemed pretty neat to me.
Well, aren't you sweet? And just her type, too.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
Gay!
Forget I said anything. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Take a candy with you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna leave that here. I'm probably gonna take a break because I'm warm and I want my fans back on. I mean, you can probably hear one fan, it's the ceiling fan. None of that matters. I'm just gonna take a break. I'm gonna edit some videos maybe, and I will see you in the next video. Well, I won't see you because that's not how videos work, but bye.